to TNAIW Go Power Rankings show. As always, I'm joined by my two co-hosts. First, to my right, he puts the Burt and Sherbert. He's Burt the Intelligent. He's a rascal.
That's okay.
And he allegedly has no relation to Steve Macklin. He's the star of the show no matter where he goes. He's Burt Macklin, guys.
You know, I don't... That Burt the Intelligent one, thank you for saying that. I don't know if I've earned that one. I'm not, but thank you for that.
I just want to say,
what?
I believe in Burt Macklin.
Thank you.
Believe in Burt Macklin. And to my left, he's the DNA of LL3NA. He's the godfather of the Power Rankings. He puts the Lucha and Luchasaurus, the Lucha and Lucha Underground, the brother and Lucha Brothers. He's Lucha.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So we have so much to talk about. As we all know, Impact returned to the UK for the first time in 8 years this past weekend for shows and for Turning Point. We have so much to discuss. I expect to see Trinity on the Power Rankings. I expect to see the most professional wrestling gods. And I wonder where Will Ospreay's going to land on the Power Rankings. What about you, Burt?
You know what I don't expect to see, and I think it's going to make Lucha sad because it makes me sad. I don't think you're going to see the Machine Guns number 1. Not even number 2. And that's sad.
It's sad, but it's also not like, it's not like they're getting screwed per se. Like they split this week, you know what I'm saying? They got a TV win, but then they lost at the pay-per-view. So it's like,
yeah.
And not only did they lose at the pay-per-view per se, you kind of really can't penalize them too much because it's not like the loss came because of a machine gun. It's not like Saban got pinned or anything.
And because they're still champions, they'll still be relatively high.
What about you, Lucha? Who do you expect to see on this week's Power Rankings?
And it's crazy that the machine guns were brought up because that was kind of where I was at. I was interested to see where they would land. I know they wouldn't be normal number 1 or number 2. It was just a matter of where they're gonna land is what I'm interested in.
All right, fair enough. And with that being said, let's play these Power Rankings. Number 10, Frankie Kazarian. Number 9, Deonna Purrazzo. Number 8, Tag Team Champions ABC. Number 7, Joe Henry. Number 6, Jordan Grace. Number 5, The Most Professional Wrestling Gods. Number 4, Team Canada. Number 3, Motor City Machine Guns. Number 2, Will Ospreay. Number 1, World Champion Trinity.
Oh, wow. Number 3. Actually surprised.
Yeah, I'm really surprised. All right. We got to talk about a few numbers here. First, let's talk about Deonna Purrazzo and Frankie, because actually it was to Frankie Kazarian, Deonna Purrazzo, the Most Professional Wrestling Gods, and the Motor City Machine Guns, because on the Go Home show, Deonna tagged with the Most Professional Wrestling. Frankie Kazarian teamed with Chris Sabin, replacing Alex Shelley. He lost, he got pinned, and he lost to Joe Henry. So, and not to mention, Deonna Purrazzo and Frankie Kazarian tied. They actually tied for number 9, and then knocked somebody off knocked a bunch of people off the Power Rankings.
One of whom had to be Grado, because I'm like, Grado copped 2 wins and got no love.
So here's the interesting part. So Frankie Kazarian and Deonna tied at number 9 with 8 points each, but there was a 1, 2, 3, 4-way tie for 10th place.
Okay. The Kazarian, because I know Kazarian lost on Thursday, and Deonna was part of a winning team on Thursday. Deonna, we all know, lost on Saturday. I mean, on Friday. Did Kazarian lose or win?
He lost.
What?
He got the pin.
So 2 losses compared to 1. That's why Deanna first, I think, should be ahead of him. I think that one's pretty clear. And then who else are we talking about?
Well, she teamed with the most professional wrestling gods, and yet they're way ahead of her. And then the Motor City Machine Guns at number 3.
Because, the most professional wrestling gods got 2 wins. And Moose, number 1 contender. So right there, And then as far as the Motor City Machine Guns, yes, they did get a win. Chris Sabin was part of the losing team on the second night. But as far as the last time I checked, they still got 2 belts. And
last time I checked, I was the man on these streets. No, last time I checked, Frankie Kazarian also wasn't the Motor City Machine Gun, so his losses shouldn't negatively affect the Motor City Machine Guns too. They still operate as business as usual at the end of the day until they lose some gold or pull a back-to-back loss type situation. They're still going to be top 5 every week. The fact that they came in at 3 honestly surprised me.
Well, you make some great points, Lucha. You honestly do. And I question what would have happened had Alex Shelley not been replaced in that match.
As far as I know, probably would have been another win, another week in Motor City Machine Guns at number 1, and haters hating.
So about this 4-way tie for number 10, it was between Grado, Gail Kim, Rich Swann, and Leon Slater, all with 7 points.
That's weird.
Yeah, so, but because of the tie for number 9 with Gianna Peraza and Frankie Kazarian, it just knocked them off. They didn't even,
It'd be like that, and it'd be all right.
Yeah. So, coming in at number 8, Tag Team Champions ABC made the Power Rankings. Lucha, what are your thoughts on that?
Love to see it. Love to see the champs still getting some representation. If this is supposed to be the top 10, representation, you got to have the champs in there.
That's true. Burt?
Exactly. Sometimes, no matter if they were on the show or not, so the champs have to be represented sometimes. And this week there was a reason for it.
Yeah, that's true. Number 7, Joe Henry getting 2 victories, and he won the Glasgow Cup. Came in at number 7.
We might have to start crediting him with the Glasgow Cup. I mean, does that get title points? Do we invent trophy points for this? How does this work?
We might have to look into that. We have to run that by the committee.
But you're the Godfather, Lucha.
I gotta see what it says in the Bob Backlund authorized book of Power Rankings to figure out how we handle trophies. It's we know how we handle X's, we just don't count those, but trophies.
So Jordan Grace came in at number 6. She only had 1 match, right?
I believe so.
And yet Joe Henry had 2 and won twice and is a Glasgow Cup winner. So why is she ahead? Is it just because she's a call your shot contender?
I just think she's on a roll right now since coming back.
That is true. She is undefeated so far since coming back.
And I mean, let's keep it 100. And this is no shade of Danny Luna, but based off of prior weeks Power Rankings and the overall trend of people stocking who a win versus who all that stuff starts to matter a little bit more. Danny Luna isn't someone necessarily that you'll get a win off of, and that should do anything. So I think the call your shots got to be an extra crutch.
Yeah.
And that or she's just a juggernaut, bitch.
Yeah. Speaking of Danny Luna, I feel so bad for Subculture. I mean, they were in their home country, and I don't know what happened there. They couldn't
put up a good fight.
Yeah, they did. They
and they dealt with a bad draw. They dealt with a bad draw too.
Yeah, they did. I mean, look who they went up against. The Virtuosos professional wrestling gods. So it's Oh, and then they fought Team Canada?
Yeah, it was just a bad draw for him.
Yeah.
Definitely. Speaking of Team Canada, Lucha came in. They both came in at number 4, the team of Eric Young and Josh Alexander.
Also known as the Maple Leaf Mafia. Because I can't officially put Team Canada on them yet. I mean, yeah, they're both Canadian and they're a team, but like, I don't know. I don't feel comfortable putting that branding on them. So we're just gonna stick with the Maple Leaf Mafia.
They were the list said Team Canada, so that's why I just wrote Team Canada.
I should have put the Maple Leaf Mafia.
I like that.
Me too. Burt, your thoughts on the Maple Leaf Mafia coming in at number 4?
They got 2 wins. Am I right? So yeah, you know what I mean. That's well deserved this week. You know, they're not champions, but those are 2 wins. So
yeah, they beat Subculture and the Motor City Machine Guns. That's why. There you go. They had a victory over Subculture, but lost to the Motor City Machine Guns on the Go Home show.
okay, so they only had 1 victory. Okay, well, and what place are they?
They're right up. They're right above the Motor City Machine Guns at number 4. Motor City Machine Guns is number 3.
Well, then, you know, I think that's fitting then. Because the Machine Guns should be ahead of them. They did beat them, and they are World and X Division champions, so.
Lucha, what are your thoughts?
I mean, I'm just saying the Maple Leaf Mafia, they seem to be on one hell of a quick, 2-show run, you know what I'm saying? Getting some good action in there. So them hitting 4 doesn't really surprise me. They're one of those who benefited from the double duty wins from Go Home and pay-per-view.
Yeah.
And I wonder if this is a new direction for Josh Alexander, him re-entering the tag team division.
I mean, you gotta, in order to be the captain and lead the team, you first have to be in a team. Granted, yeah, he was in a team before with Ethan Page, but he wasn't necessarily the captain in that team.
Like, and we've done rankings where Josh Alexander, his team, the tag, what was it like the 3-man team that he led during those matches, they lost. So,
but were those losses really his fault though?
No, they weren't. But I'm interested to see where this goes with Eric Young and Josh Alexander. Coming in at number 2, Will Ospreay.
The Billy Goat.
He had an amazing match with Eddie Edwards, main evented Turning Point. I don't think does he have a case to be number 1, or is he good being at number 2?
I think he had, even though that match was made, I think that he has to be number 2. Just because I think number 1 deserves to be number 1.
Lucha?
I mean, I would honestly make an argument for putting Ospreay at 3 just because, I mean, yeah, he got a win over Eddie. But other than that, the only other thing he really has as far as Impact Soil is that win over Speedball. That's just 2 wins and 2 big wins, yeah, but there's just 2 wins in a short period of time. So I didn't really feel like the momentum for him to necessarily hit number 2 was where he should be. I would have put him a little lower, but also in the same breath, you can't deny a guy who beat Speedball and Eddie Edwards in back-to-back bangers. And then you got a 3rd banger coming up.
Question
I cannot
for
wait
you.
to see that match, Josh Alexander.
And when are they showing that match?
I think it's 2 weeks from this Thursday.
2 weeks?
Yeah.
Okay.
So what was your question, Fred? I'm sorry.
Question. When Will Ospreay is deciding where to sign, should he look at his popularity in the power rankings, and should that sway his decision to sign with Impact?
Just like I was saying with Trinity, or with Mickey James with Trinity, where you don't want to look at their power ranking position and momentum and everything and get fooled. So I wouldn't necessarily use this as a fair metric because this could like really take you one way or another that you probably shouldn't go to.
Okay.
Coming in at number 1. You get ready to feel the glow. Trinity.
I feel it.
I feel the glow
Yeah.
too.
I feel the glow. It kind of burns a little bit though.
Are you sure that's just not the smoke?
Could also be.
Trinity coming in at number 1. She co-main evented with Deonna Purrazzo. She has defeated Deonna Purrazzo 3 times, all by submission. Come on now.
And she got 2 wins this week. So, and she's champion. I think there's nothing more she could do. She had to be number 1. She deserves to be number 1.
Yeah, that's facts.
Yeah, there's no argument there. She's number 1. Does anybody have any final comments on the power rankings before we move on to the next segment?
None from me.
Okay, so now we're going to be moving on to a segment I like to call Which Match Has the Biggest Implication in Power Rankings Next Week? I swear, that gets longer and longer each week I say it.
It feels so long, pause.
It does. All right, so we have 3 matches so far. Deonna Purrazzo versus Tasha Steelz. A no DQ match for the digital media title, Tommy Dreamer versus Crazy Steve, and Alex Shelley versus Jonathan Gresham for the world title. Which of those 3 matches do you guys feel has the biggest implication? Lucha, you can go first on this one.
It's got to be the world title match, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's not only because it's the world title match, it's the match to where, the machine guns can reclaim their spot at the top of the throne with a successful title defense. You got no choice but to give them number 1 there.
Yeah, I agree completely. What about you, Burt?
Same. Even and is it a world title match for sure? I was just gonna say it's just a chance for the world champion to get a victory, but is it a world title match?
I believe it is because they were advertising it. If Alex Shelley won, it would be for the world title.
Okay. Well, even though John Gresham, I predict, will be losing that match, he is your future grand champion. And that's just a little thing. That belt doesn't exist, but I'm hoping they give Gresham in the future some sort of pure rules type belt. And I hope it's with that belt. But I think that match is you have the most, but I do think Tommy Dreamer potentially will be dropping that title. So if Crazy Steve wins, I could see him getting get a pretty decent spot on the ranking.
Burt, I do agree with you. If Crazy Steve beats Tommy Dreamer, that has to count for something, don't you think?
Because I think Tommy Dreamer retaining is not he won't be as high as if Crazy Steve wins and becomes a new champion. I just hope that Crazy Steve would be higher on the list if him winning the championship, opposed to if Tommy Dreamer retains. I don't think he'd be as high on the list.
I mean, honestly, all respect due, I really don't know if either, regardless of who wins, I don't think that would, at least on my personal top 10, they wouldn't crack mine.
Yeah.
Which would then play a final role in their ending spot.
Yes.
Because neither really has that much momentum at this point, especially considering the last few weeks.
I agree.
Steve's had a match. When's the last time Tommy's had a match?
Yeah.
All right. Anybody have any other comments before we get ready to wrap up?
No.
Oh, right. So, thank you guys all so much for watching and for the continuous support. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell so you get notified whenever this video drops or whenever TNAIW releases content such as Lucha. What kind of content are we talking about here?
Such as make sure you guys, check out, reruns of this just to, see where the landscape if you need a quick refresher on what the landscape of Impact Wrestling was during the last week it was Impact Wrestling before we changed the TNA, speaking in the future, then you can go peep that. You don't want Sports Center. You want a little nonsense, some real unadulterated nonsense. You check out LOL TNAIW, me, Jeff, and Johnny Mac. We give our high fives on various TNAIW topics, and we just be in the treehouse chilling. Make sure you check out G's weekly reaction videos. Make sure you guys go check out the replay from me and G from Sunday when we were on the main show, The Big Show.
Where's the big show? The big bad show tonight.
And go check out Old School Talking Bloody Nonsense with Craig and Nixon. They linked up at shows over in the UK, so that was dope. Hopefully we can get some new TBN popping off soon. So go check out the homies.
They have a video in the archives. I think Craig interviewed new signing Leon Slater. I think he has an interview. It's available on the page. So go check that out.
Go peep the homie. Go leave. Yeah. Drop a comment. Tell Craig you love him. Tell Nixon you love him. You know what I'm saying? Just go rock with us.
Yeah.
Show some support for our friends across the pond.
Yeah.
All right. And with that being said, we'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.